What if I told you that one of the most famous symbols in history, a symbol of protection, royalty, and magic, is actually a stunning example of complex ancient mathematics? The Eye of Horus is much more than a pretty amulet. Did you know that the 6 parts of this sacred symbol, when added together as fractions, do not equal one whole? And that this missing piece holds the secret to both Egyptian magic and the nature of perfection? Today, we're exploring the enigmatic Eye of Horus, the wedjat. By the end of this video, you'll know the violent origin story, its incredible cosmic connections, and how this symbol became a blueprint for Egyptian medicine, mathematics, and immortality. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of the pharaohs, hold on because it is going to be a bumpy ride. To understand the Eye of Horus, we must go back to the original soap opera of Egyptian mythology, the saga of Osiris, Set, and Horus. Osiris was the rightful king of Egypt, a ruler who brought civilization to the world. But his brother, Set, the god of chaos and violence, wanted the throne. Set tricked and murdered Osiris, taking the crown. However, Osiris's devoted wife Isis, the goddess of magic, performed a miracle. She temporarily brought her husband back to life long enough to conceive a son, Horus. Osiris then descended to become the god of the underworld, while Isis raised Horus in secret. When Horus came of age, he swore revenge. The battles between Horus and Set were long and brutal. It was during these chaotic clashes that the injury occurred. In the heat of battle, Set savagely ripped out Horus's left eye. He tore it into 6 pieces and scattered them across the land. But here is where the story shifts from violence to healing. The compassionate god Thoth, the god of wisdom and magic, gathered the 6 scattered fragments and magically restored the eye, piece by piece. This restored eye was then given to Osiris in the underworld, restoring his power and allowing him to rule the dead. This act of being made whole again is the very essence of the Eye of Horus, the wedjat, meaning the one who is whole. Now let's talk about the victory of Horus. After years of trials and battles, the gods convened a divine tribunal. Despite Set's cunning arguments, Horus was ultimately recognized as the legitimate heir of Osiris and crowned pharaoh. Set's fate. Set was not annihilated. Instead, he was assigned domains outside the fertile Nile Valley, deserts, storms, and foreign lands, embodying chaos but contained by cosmic order. Symbolic balance. Egyptian myth did not erase Set entirely. His continued existence reflected the Egyptians' belief that chaos could never be eliminated, only restrained. Let's talk about reconciliation myths. Some later traditions even depict Horus and Set reconciled, jointly ruling or uniting the 2 lands, symbolizing balance between order and chaos. This powerful origin story gave the Eye of Horus its incredible scope. It became the ultimate amulet of protection, healing, and restoration. Egyptians, both living and dead, wore it constantly. But its meaning runs deeper than simple protection. Now let's discuss the cosmic meaning. Ancient Egyptians linked Horus's 2 eyes to the primary celestial bodies. His right eye was associated with the powerful blazing sun, representing the day and the pharaoh's power. His left eye, the wedjat, was associated with the luminous but ever-changing moon. The injury and restoration of the eye perfectly mirrored the waxing and waning phases of the moon. Every lunar cycle was a visible monthly reminder of Horus's loss and recovery. Second, its funerary role. The Eye of Horus was the single most common symbol painted on coffins and placed within tombs. When painted on the side of a sarcophagus, it was meant to give the deceased a magical portal to look out into the world and continue receiving offerings. It was the promise of rebirth and wholeness in the afterlife. Third, the senses. Look closely at the 6 distinct parts of the design. Egyptians believed these components symbolized the 6 senses we use to interpret the world. The eyebrow represented thought, the pupil was sight, the left side, pointing towards the ear, was hearing, the right side. Nearest the nose was smell. The curved hook was taste, representing a sprout of grain, and the iconic teardrop was touch, representing the action of planting. Let's look at the cultural meaning of the conflict between Set and Horus. Horus as kingship. Every pharaoh was seen as a living Horus, embodying divine order and rightful rule. Set as necessary chaos, though demonized in later periods, Set was also respected as a force that defended Ra against the serpent Apophis, showing that chaos had its place in the cosmic cycle. Enduring archetype. Their struggle became a mythic template for the eternal tension between stability and disruption, civilization and wilderness. Now let's go back to our starting sentence. The Eye of Horus is a sophisticated lesson in ancient Egyptian mathematics. According to ancient Egyptian medical and mathematical texts, particularly the Rhind mathematical papyrus, each of the 6 main components of the Eye of Horus was used as a hieroglyphic symbol for a specific fraction. These fractions were vital for measuring volumes of grain, land, and liquids. This system was designed around the power of 2, where the denominator doubles with each piece. Let's look at the pieces. The far right side represents scent and smell, 1/2. The pupil represents sight, 1/4. The eyebrow represents thought, 1/8. The far left side represents hearing, 1/16. The curved tail represents taste, 1/32. The iconic teardrop represents tough, 1/64. Now what happens when we add all 6 of these fractions together? The sum is 63/64. This sum refers to the ancient Egyptian mathematical interpretation of the 6 distinct parts of the Eye of Horus, or wedjat. The Eye of Horus, the symbol of wholeness, is intentionally missing the last 1/64. Why? Scholars believe this missing piece represents the magical power of Thoth. It illustrates that true wholeness, or perfection, is not achievable through simple addition, but requires a divine magical intervention. It reminds us that there is always a mysterious element, an unknown quantity that completes the whole. This was not a mathematical error, it was a theological statement. The legacy of the Eye of Horus is far from buried in the sands of time. This symbol of power and protection has endured for over 400–500 years. Today, you can still see its direct influence. For centuries, Mediterranean fishermen have painted the eye on the bow of their vessels, a tradition known as the oculus, to protect them from storms and guide them safely home, echoing its ancient role on Egyptian boats. You see it everywhere, from jewelry stores to tattoos, to being adopted by various spiritual and occult groups who recognize its deep connection to knowledge, power, and mystical vision. Whether you see it as a story of mythical vengeance, a cosmic connection to the moon, or an elegant lesson in fractional math, the Eye of Horus remains one of history's most potent, recognizable, and enduring symbols. It is a powerful reminder that even after being shattered into pieces, with a little wisdom and magic, we can always be made whole again. Which part of the Eye of Horus myth was most surprising to you? The 63–64 math or its role in the moon cycle? If you want to uncover more mysteries from the ancient world and explore forgotten civilizations, hit the subscribe and notification button so you won't miss what's coming next.